Howdy folks, just a short sort of after the fact video in case this information helps anybody. I recently picked up this LG ultra wide curved gaming monitor for 20 Canadian bucks because it would not turn on. And the story that I got was the joystick that pretty much all of the modern LG monitors use. It broke somehow. The previous owner had opened it up and taken the button board out and sort of dangled it through the hole, and he was somehow able to manipulate it to, get it to do what he wanted it to do. Made it a secondary monitor, and about a week later, he was using it. It just turned off and wouldn't turn back on again. And he'd looked it up online. He was obviously someone who kind of knew what he was doing, but just enough to be dangerous, kind of. He thought that maybe it was a mainboard issue or power supply issue. He wasn't able to fix it, so he sold it for parts essentially. So that's where I picked it up, and I thought, well, even if it is a power supply issue, it'll be nice and easy to fix, relatively speaking. And I wasn't too worried about the whole joystick situation. Well, it took me a grand total of about 45 seconds to figure out what the problem was, and it was the fact that the joystick was actually shorted and the device was just off. So I was able to basically just separate the rest of what was left of the joystick, which was in pieces, and just use some tweezers to jump the hat pin, and the monitor worked fine. There was no need to actually do any work on the main board at all. And I've actually seen a lot of references to the joysticks on LG monitors going bad. And it appears that they all probably use very similar, if not exactly the same joystick. I have a couple LG monitors of this kind of vintage, and whether they're the curved gaming monitors, the just 4K studio monitors, whatever it is, they all use the same joystick. And so if you really wanted to, all I would have had to do was just I actually just took the joystick off by using some side cutters and just basically nibbling it away. It's very thin plastic, it's very brittle, and I was able to get that off without damaging any of the pads, and that was easy. And just cleaned up everything with solder. And I could have left it at that if I wanted to. This being it's part of a 4-monitor setup, so realistically, once it's configured, you never have to really touch it. But I had to color calibrate it, and just even getting to factory reset the settings with a set of tweezers on the pads was the most excruciatingly painful thing ever. So I decided I would try and find the joystick and actually just buy a new one and resolder it. And I was able to find it. So the joystick that is used by LG is this one here. It's made by Alps. It's the SKRH AB-E010. And you can get this from your parts supplier like DigiKey. So this is Canadian DigiKey. They're about $4 or so, and they have decent stock of them. And that's all you need. Now there is another variant you can also get, which is the AA. So there's the AB and the AA, and they look almost identical. The difference being the guide pins. There's the AB has these little dowel pins on the bottom which locate it on the PCB. The AA doesn't have those dowel pins. It's flat on the bottom. Now, when I originally ordered the part, I actually ordered the AA model because I wasn't sure if those holes were in the PCB, and I didn't know until I took the old one off. It turns out they are present on at least the model that I have of this monitor, and I'll put in some text on the screen as to what the actual model of this monitor is, in case you're interested. If you're unsure, you can always buy the AA model and use it. It just won't self-locate. You just have to hold it in place with some tweezers or something while you're soldering it. So it's a little bit more challenging to get it lined up because it's all surface mount, but the AB is the actual correct part. So yeah, that's all I really, I think I really had was, this is the part if you need to replace it. It's really not that hard. You can take that board completely out. It's got a connector, so you could take it out, take it to your workbench, solder it, hold it in some helping hands or whatever while you do it, and then just plug it back in. And if you choose to not do it and you really just want to kind of do it sort of the ghetto solution, this is the, I probably shouldn't have even opened that in a new window. For the the camera's sake. This is essentially the pinout. So the common is on one side, and then you can just short the other pins as you need to use the on-screen display. But again, it's kind of a pain in the ass. So honestly, for the price I paid, I think it's very much worth it to just replace the switch. And so that's it. So I ultimately had about $25 into this monitor. It's a 34-inch, 144 hertz monitor. It's only 1080 vertical, but three of my four monitors are 1080 anyway, so not a big deal. So anyway, I hope that helps someone. I'm not unfortunately it's on a stand and everything, and I don't really want to take it off of my arm and everything, take it apart just to show you what that board looks like. I think you can imagine that. But anyway, hope this helps someone with one of these monitors, not mistake it for a bigger fault than it actually is. And anyway, thanks for watching.